Hi, I am Dimitris, and in this presentation we'll see some worked examples of quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. First example. Solve the quadratic equation x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. As we know from the previous presentation, we can solve this type of equations in three steps. In the first step, we start by stating the values of a, b, and c, where a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. So here, in our example, a equals 1, b is negative 5, and c is 6. In the second step, we calculate the value of the discriminant using the discriminant formula b squared minus 4ac. If we substitute in this formula the values of a, b, and c from the first step, we can come up with the value of the discriminant, which is number 1. And since the discriminant is positive, we expect to find two different solutions. In the third step, we will use the quadratic formula to find these two solutions. The quadratic formula says that x1.2 equals negative 5 plus or minus square root of the discriminant, and all that over 2a. And once again, if we substitute the values of a, b, and d in the quadratic formula, we can find that the first solution equals 3, while the second one equals 2. Second example. Solve the quadratic equation negative x squared plus 2x minus 1 equals 0. Once again, in the first step, we'll start by stating the values of a, b, and c. Here, a is negative 1, b is 2, and c is negative 1. In the second step, we'll estimate the discriminant using the discriminant formula b squared minus 4ac. And if in this formula we substitute the values of a, b, and c taken from the first step, we can find that the discriminant equals 0. And as we know, since the discriminant equals 0, we expect to find one double solution. In order to find that solution, we use the quadratic formula x1.2 equals negative b plus or minus square root of discriminant and all that over 2a. And if in that formula we substitute the values of a, b, and d, we can find that that double solution equals 1. Third example. Solve the quadratic equation negative 3x squared plus 5x minus 9 equals 0. As always, in the first step, we'll start by stating the values of a, b, and c. Here, a is negative 3, b is 5, and c is negative 9. In the second step, we calculate the value of the discriminant by using the discriminant formula b squared minus 4ac. And if in that formula we substitute the values of b, a, and c, we can come up with its value, which is negative 83. And since our discriminant is a negative real number, then there are no real solutions for our equation. And so there's no need to move in the third step. For any questions about this presentation, you can always contact me on the following email. Thank you for your time.